Hi everyone, I'm Jeffy the Alien, and today we're talking about my favorite series of video games, Silent Hill. Yes, Silent Hill is a game I have grown up with, and I really love, and I hope it comes back, because right now it's kinda dead. I'll explain later. Okay, let's start. Silent Hill is a series of third-person horror games made by Konami over the last 20 years. And it's about the titular town of Silent Hill, a town somewhere in America that has a fucked up past and for some reason is really foggy. Funny story about the fog in those games though. It started out as a way to hide the limitations of the PlayStation 1 engine the first game ran on. So the town areas were big, and to be able to run into them and around them, they needed time to load the assets, so they hid them behind a wall of fog. And the aesthetic of it was just too great to not keep using, even with better hardware, when these other sequels came out. Alright, so for those of you who are not aware, Silent Hill has many games, and they're split into two categories. So we have the original Team Silent Hill games, which are the good ones. And then we have the other studio games once Konami got a little bit too greedy. We'll go over all of them in a moment. So let's begin. I'll start with the original 4 games and another one. So we have Silent Hill 1 for the PlayStation, the original one. It's where it all started. It's the story of Harry Mason looking for his daughter Cheryl in the town of Silent Hill after they crashed their cars on the outskirts of town. It's a really fun game, very scary, and ahead of its time. It was a game with full 3D backgrounds in a survival horror type of game where most of the popular games of that time were still using pre-rendered backgrounds like Resident Evil. It's a really fun game. It's a product of its time though, so the graphics are a little bit dated, but I still think it's really scary though. And if you can get your hands on it, I really recommend it. Then we have Silent Hill 2, which is my favorite. It's so awesome. It's the story of James Sunderland that is drawn to Silent Hill after he receives a letter from his dead wife telling him to come to town. That makes no sense because his wife's dead. The dead do not write any letters. So that's a really nice premise, and I think it's a really nice way to hop into the game. And the graphics compared to this first game is stellar. And I still think it holds up to this day, to be honest. Mwah, chef's kiss. And then we have Silent Hill 3, which uses the same engine, and is the story of Cheryl trying to get back home to her father. This one has the best aesthetic, and it's the probably scariest of them all, and it's also really difficult. So if you like difficult games, I recommend it. Then we have Silent Hill 4, which is the least good of the original 4. That one's not great, but it's okay. It's okay. I was really harsh on it the first time I played it, and I recently played it again, and it's not as bad as I remember it being. There's some baffling design decision in it though, so limited inventory, breakable melee items, and some really weird enemy noises. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking with that one. Ugh. Anyways. Oh yeah, and there's also a Silent Hill Origin, which only came out on the PSP. And also, no wait, that's not true. They released a PlayStation 2 version at some point. It's weird. It's a trucker that passed by the town and got stuck in it. I don't know what the fuck. I played it once, and then I never really touched it again. So maybe I should revisit it someday. That could be a fun stream. Anyways, so those are all of the originals made by Team Silent, and then we get to the other ones. Okay, sorry, I was reliving some traumatic memories. Alright, so we have Silent Hill Homecoming, a really action-oriented version of Silent Hill. You can like combat wall and shit. I don't know about you, but you're trying to build ambiance here, you're not trying to do gymnastics. So that never really gelled well with me, and also the fact that they shoehorned Pyramid Head, which is a very personal character enemy to James Sunderland from the second game, so just having him here for some reason makes no fucking sense. so that does not sit well with me. But then we have the somewhat better, but still not great, Silent Hill Downpour, which was okay. I know a lot of people really fucking hate it, but they should focus more on Homecoming for that, because Silent Hill Downpour tried to get back the creepy atmosphere of the town. They don't quite get it, but it's not bad. It's decent, which is not asking for a lot, and yet here we are. And there's the surprisingly good Shattered Memories. Originally came out on the Nintendo Wii. Had some really nice gimmicks to it, and it's a retelling of the first game. And they took it some interesting directions I was totally not expecting. And the ending punched me in the gut. So if you have to play one of the non-Team Silent ones, I would recommend Shattered Memories. And then we have Book of Memories, which came out on the PS Vita and was a multiplayer co-op, top-down Silent Hill game. Yeah, the less we talk about that one, the better. But it gets worse. There's also a pachinko game and an arcade shooter one. You know, those on-rail light gun ones. It happens on a boat. It's like a throwaway line from the second Silent Hill game, and they made a whole ass arcade shooter out of it. And there's Pyramid Head in it too. Woo! The mascot. I don't agree with that. Anyways. Yeah. So if I had to recommend Silent Hill games, I would recommend Silent Hill 2. For the story, it's my favorite. But I also would recommend Silent Hill 3. For the scariness and difficulty level, the ambiance is really great too. And it pushes the PlayStation 2 to its limit, and the graphics still hold up to this day. Although, whatever you do not, and I repeat, do not play the HD remastered version on the PlayStation 3. It's bad. They changed the voice acting. The fog is fucked up. I don't know what the fuck they did. I don't know what they were smoking, but yeah, stay far away from it. Get your hands on the originals, play those. You'll be glad you did. Trust me. Those are the ones you should try, but I am aware they are very difficult to find, because Silent Hill 3, the original, is really difficult to find, and Silent Hill 2 has a PC version, but it's not sold on Good Old Games or Steam, so good luck finding it. But if you find it, there's a really nice HD patch and 60 frames per second update that gives you 16:9 aspect ratio and really pushes up the HD textures. So it's a really nice way to enjoy it if you can get your hands on it, if you catch my drift. So that's the one I recommend. But if you can't, you can still grab the Silent Hill 4 game on Good Old Games for like $7. And as I said, it's not the best, but it's still a Silent Hill game. So I still think you should try it. Just be aware, it's an old game, so it comes with its jankiness. But yeah. That's my recommendation. And yeah, Silent Hill is a great series. The atmosphere of the town, both of the different worlds, the foggy one and the other world full of rot and melting walls, and the creature designs in those games are just like, chef's kiss. It's a really unique experience, and I'm jealous that you will be experiencing it for the first time, because I sure can't. I played so much of those games. They don't have the same effect on me anymore. And it makes me kind of sad. But you know, it is what it is. What is your favorite Silent Hill game if you are a fan of the series as well? Please let me know in the comments. I would really appreciate it. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I produce content every week, and I stream on Twitch 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So I hope I'll see you there. And thank you for the support. Because, you know, the algorithm is a harsh mistress. I don't know how it works. I don't think I ever will. Anyways, alright, that's about it. I'll see you in the next one. Later. Take care.